Alright, this video is going to be on the operators and on the starting up variables and initializing variables. So for the very first task, we're going to talk about operators. The following operators are .out.println is the plus symbol, the minus symbol, the percentage symbol, which is the modulus operator, which we will go over in a few chapters, the division symbol, and the multiplication symbol. They do their tasks respectively, plus adds, division, divides, etc., etc. And it's following the basic math rule of PEDMAS. Now, variables. If you can code without using variables, I don't even think it's possible to do that, but props to you, because it is very difficult. Variables are a few variables. There are integers, which we use, which is represented by int. There are string. There is string, which is a collection of characters, like a sentence. There is double, which is a floating type, and it's used with decimal points like 1.3, 1.7. And there are booleans, which we will get to later, and it's only two types, true or false. There are car, which is only one character, and I believe that is it. If I remember any later, I will remember to add it into the comments or something else like that. So first, why don't we make our first integer? So there are two ways to initialize a variable. Initializing is like starting it up, naming it, letting the Java program know it exists. There is the variable type space name. So why don't we call this first int? Now, when naming variables or almost anything with Java, there is a naming convention. First word is lowercase, and then all the other words after that are uppercase. The first letter, sorry. So first int, tab, make sure you use tab so it's easier to see, equals tab 5. Alright? So we're going to use double next. Why don't we make a new type of initialization? The next type is, let's say you're making a lot of variables. So what you can do is int, second, int, comma space, third, int, comma space, fourth, int, semicolon. Always remember the semicolon. We're not going to use those since we already have a integer here. But actually, let me show you. So let's say you want to basically declare the third int. So you don't have to type in the int anymore because it's already been initialized. You just have to say third int tab equal tab 7 semicolon. But like I said, we're not going to use those, so I'm going to delete them. Let's say double. Also, the that type of initialization I just showed you works for all variables. So now we're going to use double. Double space first double, very original, 2.3 semicolon. Now, see, the thing is, if we wanted to add first int and first double together, you'd have to make a double called whatever you want to make, like summed up, tab equal tab, whatever. For now, we're just going to say it's 3.5. Because you have a double, so the decimal place is going to stay there. So it has to be 5 plus 2.3. It's going to be 7.3. So it has that 0.3 has to stay there. So it has to be double. So as we know, we're going to add this up like I said before. So it's going to be 5 space plus, or no, my bad. First int space plus space first double. Put a space between your variable names and your operators. It's so much easier to see. What else? String. What should we name this? First string, I guess. First string, tab equal tab, quotation marks, double quotation mark. Always remember that. when you're naming strings. Why don't we name this, or why don't we say hello world again? So, system, let's go ahead and print all of this out to the screen. Print line new. The first integer declared was. Now when you want to name extra things, or when you want to print out variables in print ln or print, what you do is you go ahead and make the quotation marks if you want to write something out. Make the parentheses if you want to write something out. Do the quotation marks, then you write plus, or you make a plus first int. Let's remove that space right there, and right there, done. It's gonna tell it the first int, and then since it's print ln, it's gonna move the cursor to the next line. System.out.println. Wow, I can't type today. The first double declared was plus first double system.out.println. The first string declared was first string. And I want to show you something. What we could always do to print out summed up is let me see, hold on. First int plus first double equal. What we could always do is plus summed up, like that, but you could also add them inside the print statement. But for now, we're just going to use summed up. It's so much simpler. Compile that, go back to your project screen, your canvas, right click, void main string args, okay, right there. Congratulations, guys, and bam.